Oh my goodness, so sorry guys. We'll be starting in about 30 seconds. I will explain myself and then we'll get right back into this. Thank you for being so patient. Yeah, lots of technical difficulties. Be right back. Are you afraid? Are you afraid of the robot men? Mwah. And we are, well, God, please be live. Let's try it. Yes. Oh my God. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to VKH Live. That GIF was very appropriate because that is the general representation of the state of the stream up until about 2 minutes ago. So I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. You know, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today. So I hope you can take the hit with me. As you can see, we're kind of glitching out here. I was trying to fix this and I made it worse. But the reason for the technical difficulties is that this is a special weekend. We are doing a bunch of streams this weekend. So we're gonna have DADAROMA right now and LMC in about an hour, which we'll make on time still. I was only planning to have this stream about a half hour, in length. So we're good there. And then during Gray at 10 p.m., we're going to be talking about their the LMC, by the way, it's their ranking releases. And then for During Gray, we're going to be giving our thoughts on the Ranunculus PV, and hopefully we have some very special guests. But yeah, God, I got to figure out what's going on with this. But I will in between these. And then in addition, we're going to have a regular stream on Saturday evenings. And then on top of all of that, we have a very special event going on Sunday afternoon and evening. So you can look for a full-on announcement and everything for that. Later on tonight, actually, we'll put something out. So, and as a result of all of that, I am actually in the process of overhauling the streams, and that has involved a lot of technical difficulties. And unfortunately, I had to, revert back to all of my old settings because they did not save. So that's what I spent the last hour and a half doing. So yeah, I'm here now. I patched up the stream as best I could. It's looking like Yoshiatsu in that and Bokuwa Android PV. It's like little damaged, banged up, but not too bad. And You know, it still looks a little human, still some life in it. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So yeah, this is the DADAROMA Raking Releases stream. Thank you very much to everybody who participated, and thank you for a special thank you for those of you who had the bravery and the courage to rank all of their songs, all of their, like, the complete discography of their songs. Yeah, I was happy we got a good. I can check in a second actually, but we got a good handful, so I decided to go ahead and just do it this week. We'll probably do these very selectively. I'm thinking about just leaving this open and maybe doing it for other bands. But what I'm going to do based with these results is probably make a Apple Music playlist and kind of share it through VKH. Just say it's like the fan vote for like the top 20. We're going to be going through the top 20 of those that were ranked. We can skim down through the rest as well, but I was just going to focus on those. So let's see here. How's the stream holding up? How's chat holding up? We've got a nice 9 to 5 on Sunday. You won't miss everything. You won't miss the big one, so that's fine. Okay, so yeah, now that we got that out of the way, did I have any other announcements? Tomorrow night's stream is about Scandal. Winona got to go see them live this past week, so she's gonna report in on them, and we're gonna talk about their music a little bit. I've been kind of looking at their music and music videos, seeing what they're up to. For the after hours stream, we're going to have one tomorrow night after the show, and you're going to want to make sure you're on Discord for that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You'll get tagged by me. You'll get the everyone tag. There's going to be a channel you're going to want to be in for that. It's part of what I've been working on. So there's that. Also, anybody who's supporting us on Patreon, thank you once again for your support. If any of you guys are watching, watch the Patreon feed tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow around lunchtime, also maybe tomorrow afternoon. I may just be doing test streams or just have a live stream open where I'm just streaming what I'm doing while I'm working on it, while I'm working on some of these changes and stuff like that, so you can get a little bit of a behind the scenes look. That'll just be for everyone who supports us on there. I can't promise it'll be super exciting or anything, but you'll probably hear me swearing a fair amount. I'll leave the mic on. So yeah, with all that said and done, like I said, we're going to go over the top 20 of the results. We'll skim down for the rest of them and see. Yeah, I'm glad we got to do this. I kind of learned a lot. I think, let me see if I can grab how many we had for, let's see, for the, how many people voted versus how many people vote, like how many people we had about the same amount of people that were voting for the favorite song versus the favorite versus ranking all the favorite songs. So I may in the future just put those separate, because I did mention it in all the tweets. I may have scared some people off, so only the hardcore people voted. But well, maybe that makes it a more accurate ranking at the same time, Gotta have a nice curated playlist, top 20 playlist, Give me 1 second, guys. Rough day, fam. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. Yeah, it's just been wild. Okay, we had oh shoot, did I do it wrong? Never do it wrong, guys. So we had about 10 responses in total, and then so that's we're doing a small sample size this time, but that's fine. Indie band is an indie band. I'm happy to take that. And no, I think we had 10 people ranked too. So yeah. Well, actually, let me see. Maybe 9 actually, sorry. Maybe 9. Was that it? 8. Okay, so we had 8 people rank, and thankfully it still came out like and aggregated just fine and all that. So before we jump into the results, I'm going to hop into just like a quick recap of the DADAROMA discography for anybody who missed any of the previous streams, or specifically like the first part of this. I'm just going to run through it real quick, and then I will tell you my top 5 for the sake of time, and then we'll see what everybody else says. So, how you doing, chat? What's chat saying? Jeff, are we getting an extreme challenge mode for Duran Gray's ranking releases? If DADAROMA got a challenge mode, I want to spend a solid 24 hours trying to rank songs for Duran Gray. I mean, the Patreon supporter asks, so the Patreon supporter shall receive. I'll release it, but I'll do it in a separate survey. I think we're going to focus on albums, and we're going to do one after. We'll do it all together. But I may just throw in this as like a bonus for people who are like super down, to like get into the nitty gritty of it, because yeah, that might like that might be right up like a good like a lot of people's alley, since it's Duran Gray. It won't be a challenge mode. I'm going to give people a lot more time because this is going to be, well, I'll talk about it more on the live stream. I think this album is going to be a conversation starter for people who follow Duran Gray. Yeah, so I'm going to give people more time, but I'll probably include the songs just as a bonus survey and see like how many people each one people like dig into it. And yeah, maybe I can make playlists from there if we get enough responses on them. So yeah, I know for sure I haven't heard all their songs. And oh man, it's almost 2 a.m. but gotta stay awake for Jeff and DADAROMA. Well, I won't tease for long. So I will we will get right into it in just a second. But yeah, quick recap of the discography. Technically, there was I guess there was a single technically before this, but it wasn't like, it was just like a live distributed single. But first mini album, which had the songs from that single on it, was Dadaism #1. Amazing debut. It was a hell of a debut for a band. Very, very heavy, very badass, very diverse in spite of that. Yeah, so that was first release, first mini album. First single is I'm in a Waltz, and that was very, very striking pseudo ballad, like avant-garde metalcore at the same time. It kind of was both at once. So that was pretty interesting. That was a hell of a way to do a debut single. Very, very impressive. Then we had, is this Am I missing one in here? Oh, this is also Aminowals. I see. Multi-types. Goddamn multi-types. Yeah, so then there was Saishu Densha, which kind of broke YouTube, or they, got broken by YouTube, depending on your perspective. It's all about positivity, so I'm going to say it broke YouTube. Very, very sexual PV, very, it got taken down because of nudity, and then the censored version, I think, got taken down too, because YouTube is apparently run by Christian soccer moms. I don't know. But, yeah, very, very like jazz metalcore kind of song. Very impressive that they already were able to kind of figure that out so well, because that song is very catchy and also very heavy at the same time. Then you have Happy Halloween, which was kind of more of a throwaway single, it felt like to me at the time, just for the hell of it. And people, fans loved it, got a kick out of it. I only came back to it recently, and I was like, oh, this is fun. This is fun. We had Dadaism number 2 at the start of 2016. That was really getting into some of the heavier parts of metalcore, a little less experimental, in terms of combining wildly different genres together. That had the Lucid Dream was the PV track on that, and that PV kind of blew people out of the water when it came out on YouTube. And then we had Neji, which was a bit of a one-off single in March of 2016. And it's the track I always forget, because DADAROMA's PVs just kind of get etched into your brain, and then you associate it with that, and then you go see the album art, and that gets etched into your brain, and then all the music gets etched into your brain, fills in the niche in your brain that's been etched into it. I hope that made sense. And Neji was just kind of like a one-off single, so I always forget what Neji sounds like. Then we had, I guess it's their first full album, but not really. It's more of a best album. It's Stan Zik, and this was a compilation. Had the best of their best, and along with a few previously unreleased tracks. Risley Circus, I think, was the new track with the PV, and then there were some other ones on here that were, that were quite, that were new, and I think they were being played at lives at the time, and they were quite good. Trend Identity, Toke Komenai Zara na Geijutsu o Kimi ga Koroshite Kurenai ka. That was all one song title. Oh, now that I say it out loud, I understand the title of that song. He's whispering and screaming it in the song. Okay. Next up was Yume Tarareba, and that was kind of like the beginning of new DADAROMA, experimental DADAROMA, experimenting with the mainstream a little bit. It had very as Winona coined, jaywalk kind of feel to it, and that was a pseudo anime opening format, but it was so heavy and energetic, and the PV looks, it's about as wild and artistic as this album art here is, so it was all just really engaging, so they pulled it off very well. B-side on here, Buriki was a song I recently rediscovered while setting this stream up. And then we had Zokato Kalashnikov, and that was a bit more of a, it was very, very Duran Gray inspired to a certain degree. Duran Gray had a PV with a similar story or similar themes involving, revisiting the era right when Japan was bombed, Hiroshima and Nagasaki and all that happened. And then the song is very, very intense and frantic, a little, very theatrical musical performance at the same time. they definitely made it their own. It was definitely a powerful track. Shout out to Kimiko, I believe, for recommending Quiet Red to me, which was the B-side on here. Found that going back through these. She mentioned it in chat on stream, and man, that's like a really catchy song. I'm all about that song. Next, we had Dadaism number 3, which is actually, I think, my least listened to mini album, in part due to like lack of availability. All of the Dadaisms are, fairly unavailable, online. But also it was the mini album where they went the most far out there in terms of experimentation. You got a little bit of a blurring the lines between metal or metalcore and hard rock on songs like Masturbation, which is a hilarious song in general and also a hilarious PV. Although as I did listen back through it, I gave it a once over, while I was preparing this stream and the last stream, and there's songs on here that are, that are pretty solidly metalcore. So I don't think it was as bad as or as bad or as extreme of a change as Masturbation leads you to think, but yeah, this was like, you could really tell. The other thing that was hard to argue with about, DADAROMA is that they were one of those bands where it's like, it's like you may just be a little irritated if they start to stray from a direction you're really into. But you can't deny that they pull it off usually. I haven't seen them flop on something they've really tried. So, there's always that. But then they released Pornograph, which was July. We're at July of 2017 now, and Pornograph is an excellent song. It's very good, very impactful. Thought the lyrics were really interesting because he's dealing with kind of a casual sexual relationship, but like with all the emotions twisted up and stuff. There's a lot of people in Miami that can relate to what they're. It's Catching Feelings, the song, basically, and but it's written really well, and so anybody that's there's a lot of people that I think can relate to it, and then let's see. Then we had Ikusuri Waru Ikusuri, which was a double A-sided single. You had Ikusuri, which is like what this is referring to, this album art, and that was kind of another Duran Gray inspired song in PV where just like in Agitated Screams of Maggots, is all very bizarrely animated. Is like animated black and white pencil drawings. DADAROMA kind of took it up a notch, gave it some 2018 visuals, put themselves in it. That's a very trippy song in PV to listen to. Again, still making it their own. It doesn't just sound like it doesn't sound. It's similar. This one was a little more similar, than I prefer. But it's like, it's been so long since Duran Gray sounded like what the kind of Duran Gray I'm referring to when I'm referring to DADAROMA. And also they really did do a good job like making it their own. It's like they inject their own brand of metalcore into everything that just like makes it slap so hard that it's like only DADAROMA could make a song like this slap this hard. And then you had Waru Kusuri, which was very surprising PV. Actually, I might enjoy that PV and song more. It's very similar to like a lot of other soft ballads and stuff by other bands, but I just did not expect them to pull off a melancholy kind of sad but soft and gentle song in PV like that. It's very impressive. Now we get to This Is Live, and they've come full circle. They're back at their original style and intensity, but they've dialed it up to 11. This is my favorite release from them by far. They nailed it as far as I'm concerned in terms of like the general theme. That's all kinds of different like sounds going on in it, but very distinctly DADAROMA. You can hear influences from other bands, but you can still tell it's them. But then at the same time, the production value has even gotten better, and the variation in instrumentation and things like that have just gotten really tight. So this was a great EP. And then last but not least, before they went on hiatus, was Boku wa Android. And this was them kind of messing around a little bit with the digital side of Visual Kei, the electronics and stuff like that. Very, very striking PV. And the music was decent. It was another experimentation. So they were going back into their, experimentation, trying out things, trying different concepts. It's a cool concept. That's where I got, if you weren't already familiar, that's where that GIF that I had for the waiting screen is from. That's what he looks like in the PV. So, it's movie style, almost movie levels of like cybernetic, makeup and costuming, going on there. So, yeah. So, and then they went on hiatus, and we were all sad. And then I made a stream, and a bunch of you guys were like, "I love DADAROMA," and I was like, "Oh, I love DADAROMA." And so, what do we do next? Well, we rank releases, of course, because what else are we gonna do? They're on hiatus, but they've announced an announcement, and they're coming back in October. We did a stream about that recently too. If you missed that. Sorry. They're not coming back in October. They're making an announcement in October. Just to clarify that. That was a slip of the tongue. I don't know anything. Their words are coming back in announcement form in mid-October. And actually, let me pull up Yoshiatsu's Twitter real quick. Because there's some funny bits of I'm almost completely convinced, and again, I don't know anything, so this is speculation, but I'm almost completely convinced that they're coming back, just based on the way they've been tweeting and acting, and the announcement itself existing. I'm pretty confident they're coming back. So, yeah, that is that. I should have pulled up some of Yoshiatsu's tweets. He's teasing fans. It looks like, to be honest, like he looks like he's bit of a "I know something you don't know" attitude. Yes, Yoshiatsu's Twitter is a real treat. Okay, so without further ado, and again in advance, I do apologize. I had a more sophisticated way that I wanted to go about this, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for this stream. I have something separate that I will try for the LMC stream, but we're just going to go through the results in browser here. As we proceed over the weekend, I will continue to make more and more tweaks and fixes, and hopefully the rest of the cool things that I have planned we'll be able to pull off. So just going to switch over real quick. Okay, so what we're looking at right here, the top one is number 20. So let me go ahead and just zoom in. And yeah, again, I'm sorry. I know it looks a little. You know what? Let me do this. There's a certain. Oh God! If I hit this switch, is everything gonna break? Nope. Okay. There's a certain level of viewability that I, do require even in dire straits like this. So give me 1 second, guys. But you can see the ones that are falling right outside number 20. So, Pornograph, Happy Halloween, High and Low, G-Men. So they almost made it in. So number 20 is Kurt the piano version, which is a thing. It's just only available on YouTube. It was a Christmas song or a Christmas gift that was put out. Let's see here. Get some of the ugly off of this. On the plus side, I had a pretty good fire drill. If I ever need to, if we're ever in a position where I'm out of town and we want to hop on and stream something and my computer's not around. So let's see. Jeff breaks everything the stream, part 17. Hey man, it's all part of innovation, baby. There's not exactly a walkthrough, a hot video tutorial series on YouTube for J-Rock and v-kei streams. So we're gonna break everything until it all just is all the kinks are ironed out. They're just ironed out by being broken over and over, over and over. Christ, oh God. Okay, it's okay. Once you guys see what this is all for, you're gonna, on Sunday. Well, first of all, you're gonna see what it's all about for Sunday, and then on Sunday, you're gonna see what it's all about for next week. You're gonna be like, oh, I see. Okay, here we go. I'm blind. Then there. It's a little easier on the eyes, I think. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, yeah, so you had Kurt at number 20. And you know what? I am actually going to count them out just to make sure, because if we're already like at the Tin Can stream or the House of Cards stream, we might as well just go ahead and just make like extra sure that we at least get this part right. I should take the thumbnail and like make it all like apply like a corrupted effect on it or something, so that people know. Anyways, here we go. Where is Kurt? All right. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, wait. This is the wrong... Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. God damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hold on a second. Is it? If I scroll here, is it scrolling there? No, it's just messing with the zoom. Okay. Oh, okay, I see where I am. I'm sorry, guys. 1, 2. I'll explain what just happened in a second, like what confused me. I don't want to give it away though. So. Okay, here we go. Last try. Jeez Louise. 1, 2, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nailed it. All right, cool. Just had to double check. Yeah, so for context for what's going on there, okay, Suki no Uta's number 19. Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to double check, but I had it up in the other browser, and the Zoom was connected to this, and I did not realize that. So, anyways, this is my punishment. I will read the chat making fun of me. Wait, Suki no Uta is the YouTube only one? Oh, right. Okay. Kurt is piano's on the album with the Rizzoli Circus. I see. Excuse me. Thank you. I got them mixed up. I took a listen to that based off your request, by the way, Gula. I was very impressed by that. Like, I really liked it. I loved the original Suki no Uta. So, Jeff's trying to get fancy on us. Trying being the operative word. The Count would be so proud. A new hit children's show coming. Oh, alternatively, let's count with Jeff. A new hit children's show coming soon. That was more like quadruple check. Yeah, so I'll show you what happened in just a second. I won't spoil it. But yeah, okay, so number 19 is Suki no Uta, which, oh God, that's a great song. It's very... it gives me like big new metal vibes, man. Like, even though it's not new metal, it kind of is, and it's just so like impactful emotionally. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. So that one is number 19. So on to number 18. We have Kusara Mikan no Hote Shiki, and that one is one of the B-sides on Ame no Waltz. Oh, okay. I'm more familiar with Ure Libido, I believe. Because there's English in that name. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that is number 18. So number 17 is Neji. All right, I guess I'm going to have to check out Neji now. We got it in there. It got in there, so we're going to have to check it out. 16 is Imitation Hero. Yeah, I had a feeling this would hit some fans in the feels. That's from Stanzik as well. And is it from anywhere else? No, that was one of the Stanzik exclusives. So Stanzik honestly had like a whole mini album's worth of new song, quote unquote new songs. I don't know if they were, live or like were being played live already or not, but yeah, so that's 16. 15, well, you just saw it. So 15 is Apathy Human, which is one of the B-sides on Saishu Densha. All of their singles is the B-side on Saishu Densha, excuse me. Again, all of their B-sides and stuff in general, there's something for everyone, and they're all like really solid. Like when I'm listening to DADAROMA, I'm not really tolerating any tracks. Like DADAROMA makes music, for a little bit of everyone, so everybody picks their stuff and they just like listen to like this like top tier stuff, and it's like you get a nice sampling of that, and it's amazing, how much of their discography is so widely appealing. So 15 is SE, which is the opening, the opening for Dadaism number 1. Excuse me. Let me make sure I'm still. We're gonna do another count with Jeff. Oh, this is so rough. I'm gonna have to bring my like AAA tier game to the LMC stream for sure. So to make up for this, but yeah, this is what technical difficulties do for you, do to you. But yeah. Excuse me, I believe it's number 14. Okay. You have to do it in the counts voice from here on out? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do a double check when we get to 10, just to make sure I didn't go over one. So that's... yeah, so number 14 is SE. Number 13 is Kurt, the original Kurt, which was off of Dadaism number 2. Not a ton of songs off Dadaism number 2. They left out a, I think just that and Lucid Dream were the only ones that were on there. But it was they were trying out the metalcore thing, seeing how far they could push that. 12 is Ure Libido, which is I think a wilder version of Saishu Densa to a certain degree. It kind of fits pretty well. And then 11 is everybody's favorite song, Masturbation, off of Dadaism number 3. And we're still not over that PV, by like a long shot. So, okay, let's see. All right, I will do the count. I think it's only fair. Like I do the count voice, so I count it out, so I make sure I'm correct. So you guys can at least view the self humiliation and flagellation, for the entertainment there. Make up for the lack of quality in the stream. So here we go. Let's count the DADAROMA tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tracks left. Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you entertained? Okay. All right, here we go. Top 10, guys. All right, number 10 is Belka to Strelka. And that is like the more metalcore sounding song on Dadaism number 1. That one's, it's a very solid song. That was like the song on the mini album that it's like, I thought like since it was the debut mini album and that wasn't a PV track or like being pushed out too much at all, that would be the track that was like, oh, this is like, okay, this is like the weak ass B-side. Because, it's a debut indie band and it's like, it's not, it's not that like expected that they're all going to be good, for debut, but no, they were all good. They were all good. So, yeah, this is one of them. Risley Circus, which is kind of the one that got them, a real good amount of exposure. It's off of Stanzik. It's a very striking PV. It's like their own kind of take on like, the Inside Beast by the Gazette, but mixed with like some metalcore and done with like a circus theme. The lyrics are really cool, by the way. Their lyrics are actually pretty smart sometimes, or at least the themes they deal with. I'm really down with like the themes they deal with, I guess. What was that? Okay, so 8 is Lucid Dream. And Lucid Dream is a very epic song. epic metalcore song with like a lot of symphonic stuff going on. And my my hard-earned money and dollars are going for this quality shit posting. Yeah, well, yeah, it's an art in and of itself. There's always that. But this is the warm up. So, okay, number 7 is Ame no Waltz. And, that was like one of their originals. It's very, very much a fan favorite. Made a solid impression on me. Not much to say there. Number 6 is Morphine number 1. Okay, so we're getting into the Morphine, so that's pretty cool. They had Morphine number 1 and Morphine number 2, which were like hits, like smash hits. And then Morphine number 3 was on Dadaism number 2, and it was done more in the style of all the songs on Dadaism number 2. It was decent, but Morphine number 1 and Morphine number 2, I like love both of those songs. And Morphine number 1 is like both of those tracks are on Dadaism, which was again their first release, first mini album, and it Morphine number 1 was like Saishu Densha before Saishu Densha existed. It's very jazzy and fun, and just had a lot of fun with the pacing, and they do these like muted, kind of distant, more high pitched voice singing in the background. It's kind of hard to describe, but you catch it in both of those tracks. So, all right, we're into the top 5 now. So number 5 is Oboreru Sakana, which is pretty surprising. I was expecting to see this at maybe number 1, but I think we all like listened to death with it, to be completely frank. But this was like the song that started it all for a lot of people, because it was the PV that started it all. Had the little "Don't touch my fish bish" meme for a little while because of the plot of the PV, where it's like some very quiet, dispossessed looking boy with like a black goldfish or like a black fish in a bowl, and then like a happy nice girl comes along and starts just like playing with him, and then she takes his fish bowl, and then all of a sudden she like dumps it out, and then he stabs her to death, and it's like, yep, cool. And then the whole time they're just like doing metalcore and bondage clothing. So it's like, I was like, this is like but it sounded amazing, and it was like, I don't know, just the right amount of like fucked up looking and shocking and stuff. It was just like, I think everybody at the time was looking for something heavy. It was right as things were starting to kick into like the heavy trends of Visual Kei, and these guys came out and just like delivered with that. So number 4 is Morphine number 2. It's just a bit more of a quirky kind of song. It's got some trumpets, it's got some organs in it actually. Really catchy pace, really catchy chorus, and all of that. It's just a solid follow up to Morphine number 1. They were spaced out across the album, but you can kind of tell they're like sibling tracks. So number 3 is Sex. That's the name of the song in all caps with an exclamation mark. This was also on Dadaism number 1, and it's kind of like it's set to a bit of a kind of like a Marilyn Manson, The Beautiful People inspired song, with like more of a like industrial metal kind of style, but still metalcore. Just everything injected with metalcore and done so well is like DADAROMA in general. Yeah, so that's number 3, which means oh, good. So you guys won't know what number 1 is because I haven't done full-on process of elimination here. Yeah, so number 2 is Saishudensha, the jazzy single. Jazz metal / porn PV / just generally hard to get out of your head song. 3rd single from DADAROMA, really badass. And number 1, can I get a number 1? Drum roll, please. Money. Also from Dadism number 1. Money was actually it was on I think the live limited single they put out, or just the really limited single they put out a few months ahead of Dadism number 1, along with Oboreru Sakana. And it's like a fan favorite. Like, so just right from the get-go, they had their iconic single song with Oboreru Sakana, and then their fan favorite like banger track, which was Money. And it's alternative metal heaven, basically. It's just, they're just it's the first time I've heard Please Let Honest Opinion on in lyrics, but yeah, it's but again, as with all of these, their English is better than my Japanese, so I can't exactly judge. But I got what they were getting across, because it's like, are you for the money? And they're like chanting it, and it's just like it's not a moshing song. It's very, very v-kei metal in that it's like it's like a head whipping kind of song, head banging kind of song. So, yeah, guys. Man, so the top 10 really, and especially the top 5, just got largely swept by Dadism number 1. So what they started with, I think, is what everybody appreciates the most. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, that's a good sign, because I mean, like, I would say a lot of the songs on This Is Live were like a return to like the priorities of like Dadism number 1. So, it's they're probably going to be expecting a lot of success if that's like they're returning to exactly what the fans want. But yeah, let's see what chat has to say. I'm so glad it's not the Kinky. Yeah, it would have been Gula says, I love the Kinky, but I definitely agree. I'm glad it's not in the top spot. It is, yeah, the Kinky's a candidate for being one of those songs that's like you just get annoyed at all the other fans because they put it at number 1, even though you thought it was just a fun thing. What was last place? Well, first let's see where the Kinky is at. Well, oh, you know what? I can just, yeah, let me make this reappear. And I can zoom out so that I can see the rankings on this table. Like, literally, even the survey was fighting me as I was setting this up. It's like, oh, I've got the numbers right there. That'll be perfect. And it's like, oh, no, that's just the beginning of a very, very, very long table that shows in great detail, all of the stats that you need to know, except for the ranking, which is on the far right side. You couldn't fit this in, with people being able to read it if you tried. I can't even read it right now because of like how far it's zoomed out. This is not helpful. Okay. So we will look at the Kinky. Not seeing a lot of votes for stuff for it. These numbers that you see scrolling by, these are all... The reason it's so long is that this is like how many people voted number 53 or whatever. How many voted number 52? And I just lost my place. Awesome. Here we are. Can I just do this? Nope. Okay. Number 39 is the Kinky. And then the dead last, which is... Oh, shoot. You know what? I think I excluded the ones that didn't get any answers. But the lowest one that got any answers was 2017 Nen 7 Suki 21 Nichi no Niki. Let me see if I can update the survey real quick. Or update the report. Let's see. Oh, while I'm doing this, let me... So the individual answers were... I wasn't planning on like doing like a ranking thing for them, but you can see like we've got a little bar graph here for them. So 40% of you picked Oboreru Sakana as your favorite answer, or as your favorite song in the individual question. So I guess it's like, this is in the context of what's your favorite DADAROMA song? One of you, four of you picked that. One of you picked Ure Libido. One of you picked Lucid Dream. One picked Zoka to Kalashnikov. One picked Suki no Uta piano version. And a vote for Pornograph. And a vote for Boku wa Android. So, in that aspect, you know, if you want to technically, the reason that I didn't do it like this is because that's like, you know, I mean, obviously it's like, you know, with these small bands, you're not going to get enough data for a bar graph thing like this to work out very well. But also because like when you do the rankings, what I noticed is that it forces you to put it in the context of all of the other songs, and people's answers change. Actually, I would argue that people's answers get more accurate when they do that. Because I've done a few of these, like myself, like Winona and I do them for like the albums and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So let me see if I had any more. No, I think that was it. So we just had 49. Oh, I know why. We had 49 because we had some ties. Like we had like a three-way. Or we had a few two-way ties and a few three-way ties in terms of the score. So, but yeah, that's about it. Let me read chat because we've got another stream coming up real quick. So I'll go ahead and wrap up here. Yeah, let me see what chat is saying, and then I'll close out. Maybe a little late for the next stream, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep similar settings. Just got to make a couple quick swap outs so it won't be long. All the disastrous crap already happened. So, good grief. I do apologize. So interesting to see how this contrasts with my list. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt, you know, especially because we had a small sample size. If you guys want to like let me know where all the DADAROMA fans are, I can like share this out with them. Just leave it open. Like if there's like a Facebook group I missed or something. I just know everyone in general kind of likes them. Is kind of the vibe I get. Like, but it's already hard enough to locate, you know, a community based around indie visual K, and then to find an indie visual K band even as big as DADAROMA. It's like it's hard to find the fans of it. You know. You got to be like Diora or Kiryu or Roy's or something. Let's see. So the one next to Ure Libido is me voting at number 1. Oh, okay, I see. Nice. I put Suki no Uta piano version at 1. Yeah, like a fair amount of like pretty diverse votes for number 1. So it was just in terms of like for people who it wasn't, like how far down it wasn't number 1. Let's see. There I am, that lonely club for Suki no Uta. I will die on this hill. Don't sweat it, fam. Shit happens. We also know that tech hates you. Yeah, tech hates me. Code bends to my will more because I spend more time with it. But tech itself, other people's programs, yeah, it's a little different. All right, guys. With all that out of the way, I'm gonna peace out. Thank you so much for casting your votes. Got some good feedback on how to conduct this for the future. So hopefully you can expect more of these. Although I just may leave them as like running open indefinitely and just just kind of see where people rank things, and then maybe start with like slightly larger bands and just kind of see how the average pans out over time. I think it would be cool. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this survey program or go with something else, but I think it would be cool to just have some fan rank thing going on, and then we can build fun content off of that and stuff like that. So but yeah, so thanks for coming out, everybody, and I will I'll see you on the next DADAROMA stream, because I'm sure there'll be another one. If nothing else, see you in October when that announcement drops. All right, bye.